Hello everyone. Today I have some videos I am going to record, but at the same time I am gonna experiment with some things. Nope, not that one. For this I wanna make it. How do I rename this? Okay, for this one. Let me make another one here and I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm trying to make some I'm trying to make my stream a little bit more interesting. And in doing so, I want to so I seem like this dude who doesn't who likes to just keep things simple, but at the same time, I also am a big fan of high quality videos. Oh, this shirt is not good for streaming. Um, yeah, I wore this shirt for the first time today, and it's been very distracting all day. Okay, let's wear this. And okay, good. Now this looks much better. So I enjoy watching high quality videos. So I like high quality videos, but at the same time, I just really don't enjoy editing videos. So my goal is to never turn on Premiere Pro whenever possible. And so I'm trying to take care of things as much as possible on OBS. So these captions I used to do all on Premiere Pro, and that would take like forever to render the videos and everything. But because I got how to do this on OBS, I don't need to turn on Premiere for subtitles, so that's good. And the other thing I want is I want some music. So I'm on YouTube right now. Let's, ah yeah, I'm on YouTube right now trying to pick some music so that I can kind of play it on stream. And I know these are royalty free, so oh, ambient music, okay. This is gonna play. Is this playing? Oh, it is. Okay, this is a little too ambient for my taste. What genre do I like? I want something casual so that I can play it as a background music. Uh, R&B and soul. Is this gonna have lyrics on it? Okay, I like this one. Let's get this one. And what else? Romantic, inspirational. Let's listen to inspirational. I can't have lyrics. Uh, yeah, I'm okay with this. Emotional mess. I don't like. It's not my style. Yeah, this is like lo-fi style. I like that. Okay. Now let's do some rock stuff. Because as you know, I like listening to rock. Is that rock? No, we have very different definitions of rock. I just want like some kind of like that kind of a. All right. Well, I'll leave it at this for now. Okay. So now let's try to add this music, background music, and let's play it as a local file. Loop. Play. I need to check. So let's see if this is playing by checking it on my cell phone. Okay, I just need to see if the volume is appropriate. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a little too soft. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at this and then we'll see where things go from now. Okay, cool. All right, now I am actually ready to talk about something. So I'm I'm manufacturing all the transitions that I'm gonna do manually. Watch how many emails I'm gonna get from all the YouTube editors being like, please, Billy, let me edit your videos for you. No, I'm gonna do mine and I'm gonna keep it low. I'm gonna keep it silly like this. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about happiness. That's my primary topic for today. I've been talking to some friends off of stream and off of YouTube about happiness. Happiness is a big topic I talk about a lot, and it generally people want to be happy. But what really is happiness, right? Sometimes the pursuit of it makes it really difficult. It just feels like this elusive thing that we kind of get into touch with every once in a while, but then we just kind of lose track of it afterwards. And the question that I've been getting is, you know, like ultimately, what is happiness? And then, does everyone want happiness? And is happiness even important? So let's address those three questions. What is happiness? Well, there's a lot of definitions out there about what happiness is to everybody else, but in my opinion, happiness is the state that you naturally arrive at when you don't have any suffering, when you don't have any reasons to feel frustrated or sad. You're naturally going to slide into this state called happiness. If you are a fan of Eckhart Tolle, you will know that Eckhart Tolle usually refers to this state as being present. And I think that based on what I have read, what he calls present, I call happiness. And so there's this sort of a sense of nothing really troubles you anymore. Everything just kind of is, and there are things that would get to you if you wanted to think about it that way, but nothing really gets to you. And so you're left in this kind of a state. And now the common response that I get is, well, does that mean peace? Does that mean peace is happiness? And I don't think so. I think peace and happiness have just a little bit of a quality difference. I think happiness is contains a comedic quality to it. So what I mean by that is when you're at peace, there is no real like there's a lot of relief, there's not a lot of like glee, and there's not a lot of like joy, there's not a lot of like happiness and the things that make you organically smile. But when you're in happiness, there's this kind of a this kind of a smile that just naturally occurs because it's kind of funny, you know? All the things that used to make your life really difficult and tough, you look at it now, and there's kind of an entertaining quality to it. Oh wow, that's kind of funny now that I look back at it. And I used to suffer so much because of that. And isn't that kind of crazy? Like how I used to give so much weight to this thing that doesn't even feel like it matters anymore. And there's that kind of a after all the peace, after all the relief, and after all the kind of background noise fades, there's this kind of a comedic quality to happiness that just makes you smile, and that just makes you happy, and that just makes you gleeful. So, in my opinion, I think that is happiness. But now, does everyone want happiness? Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I think like my work in my coaching, I kind of position myself as a coach who is kind of a last resort, which is kind of ironical because on YouTube I try to make my coaching as accessible as possible. But the work that I do for my one-on-one clients, they tend to be very, 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 very deep, and it tends to be about very, 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 very not happy, heavy topics in life. And many of my clients are of the older age, or like even if they're not old, they have gone through every conceivable different like circumstances in life. And so they tried a lot of different things. And why do they try things? And so why does this question occur in the first place? I think there is a natural tendency for us when we're not feeling good to try and seek happiness. Because if the state of depression, if the state of not feeling happy was, I think, okay and acceptable, then I don't think anybody would necessarily, chase after happiness, right? But the fact that there's an entire industry around happiness, you know? It just takes different forms. Sometimes it's weight loss, sometimes it's creative, and sometimes it's like quitting smoking, sometimes it's getting rich with investments and everything. But there's so many markets out there targeted to ultimately what? Give you happiness. And I think that speaks something, right? There's a element of um universality in all of these things in the universe that tells us that while not everybody would be actively seeking happiness at this exact moment, in general, the pursuit of happiness seems to be at least a popular pursuit. So that's my opinion on does everyone want happiness? And third question is happiness important? So, is happiness important? That is up to ultimately your experience and your perspectives on happiness. And so there is no like universal kind of answer to that question. Does happiness matter? Well, I happen to believe that it does. And your opinion may be different about it, but this is my YouTube channel, so I want to give you my opinions on happiness and why it matters. When you are happy, you, I think, as a general byproduct, become more resourced. And when you become resourced, I think you can truly start to live a life that isn't just about you anymore. I think self-development has to come first. Just like how the airplanes have the oxygen masks, right? You always have to put yours on before you help others. So, when you find your personal happiness, then you have kind of solved the puzzle of life. And good, you're able to stay in that zone of happiness because you know what it's like to remove suffering from your life. And so you will try a lot of things, and you will come to find that after a certain point, you have kind of exhausted all of your happiness. And this tends to get a bad rep because people think that, oh, then you suddenly realize that life has no point and everything is pointless and everything is void and depressing. It's less about that. You find that when you're truly happy, the level of happiness you have doesn't really increase just because you add more stuff on top of it. I'm truly happy right now. I could move into a mansion, and you know what? Like, it's not gonna make me that happier, right? After a certain point, adding more things into your life has a diminishing return. But it doesn't mean that it's peaked and you're fucked now. It's less about that. It's more about I'm so happy, and all these things are now in excess, and now I want to give it back. I want to give it to the people who actually need this, right? And when you give to others, it feels really, really good, especially when you give to a person in need. Like a really hot summer day, and you see a squirrel really struggling to get water, or like you see your neighborhood cat struggling to find a shelter. And when you help those animals, there's this feeling of like, wow, like I connected to another life form and I helped them. There's a deep sense of connection that you find with nature when you do those things. And the same goes for when you do that with other human people. So, this experience of giving is supposed to feel really good, but when you are not truly happy, when you are not truly resourced with happiness, then giving suddenly becomes a little bit difficult to do. Because you start looking for trade offs. Well, I'm giving you this, and why are you not reciprocating that with me? So you feel like you're kind of losing out. and you feel like you're kind of wasting, right? This guy doesn't even appreciate it. Or like, you know, well, I gave him this much, but why am I not getting this in return? So it would be like demanding that the squirrel pays you a tax of acorns or peanuts. And when the squirrel doesn't do that, and when the squirrel just leaves after drinking water, you're like, what an ungrateful squirrel. I hate that squirrel now. Now, you see, this, as you make that transition, this act of giving that was supposed to, I mean, that makes you feel so good, now it suddenly turns bitter. This really delicious meal that you had gives you food poisoning. It's almost like that feeling, right? And so, what ultimately enables you to give, and spread the joy with the world is your true happiness. And when you can't be truly happy, you don't have enough. And when you don't have enough, it's going to be really difficult for you to give. And so your life will center around you. And when you always are trapped inside of your head, that tends to bring about a lot of suffering as well. So, those are my opinions on happiness. And if you are in the pursuit of happiness, I hope that you don't look for it so hard. Happiness is actually really found in the really small things. I'm sure, like, stop and smell the roses and things like that, right? I want to give you a little bit of my personal anecdote about this. I was in college, and it was really dark and gloomy where I went to school. And there were extended months of time when there was no sunshine. And I was so depressed because of, seasonal affective disorder. And at the time, I just really hated school. So I felt like a prisoner of my own life. I had no friends. I had no one to really like share this kind of experience with. So I always felt so lonely and desolate. And then I got into music. I got into listening to a lot of music. I got into playing a lot of music. And when I plugged my earphones on and I listened to the music and I just got into this like state, I kind of forgot about the world. And that was such a relief. It made me, I was like out of this experience. I wasn't in Ithaca, New York anymore. I wasn't like in my body. I wasn't trapped inside of my body. I was living another person's life. I was living this like completely free state where at the press of a button, I could go to the next landscape and I was in there. And now that I reflect back on my life, I thought that music was an escape. But that music was ultimately giving me a hint of what that happiness is. Happiness is wherever you arrive when you realize that there is no reason to suffer. And for me, it was like this. I turn on the music and then I temporarily forget that none of this stuff matters. And I'm here on this earth and I'm listening to music and I'm having a really good time. And then I press the stop button and then I invite all these reasons to suffer back into my life and then I make myself feel bad. So I think that's this story can apply to a lot of other people's lives as well. If you have a way of life to connect to that happiness, that's exactly it. Even if you're briefly, momentarily happy, you forget that these all the reasons that you invite into your life to not feel happy, none of those have to really exist. You can always stay in that state. And so that is my take on happiness. Cool. That is video number 1. And video number 2 time. Whew. Man, I'm feeling really tired for some reason. I want to also add some more graphic visual elements to my stream. And if you have any ideas about that, what I can use. Hi, Kaylee. It was good. My day was good. I was today I had client sessions and my February business coaching program is almost over. So putting some wrapping ribbons on that. Then oh yeah, the big thing I did today, I'm gonna talk about it pretty soon in my second video of the day. And right now I'm just trying to well, not this one, spruce up my stream a little bit. Uh Talking points. Oh yeah, this looks good. Talking points. My color theme is more like watery. It's like more bluish. Maybe this one? Okay, I'm gonna try this and let's find another one. Education. Oh, okay. Oh, ticker. Oh, this looks cool. Oh yeah, that does look cool. Okay. More just chatting. Let's see. Hmm. Bio. Huh. Oh yeah, I can do bios from the guest streams that I do. Uh, okay, I'll try this one. There's a bunch of things that I can do to topic bar. Oh, topic bar. Yeah, I think I could like that. My subtitles are in the lower part, so I wanna see if there's a. You know what? Maybe this is fine. Okay, cool. Now let's try these out. Open. Use this output. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna say this is a browser and I'm gonna say this is overlay and I'm gonna do this. Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna copy here and let's move this here. Okay. Ooh. So instead of that, I'm gonna do what day is it today? Oh, Wednesday. Wednesday, February 28th. Ooh, the next thing I'm gonna do is cool. Wait, not this one. Oh, it is this one. Okay, cool. I just need to be a little bit closer like this. Okay, cool. Does this look good? I'm not a I'm very I don't have a graphic brain at all, so I need your help in determining whether or not this looks acceptable. Oh, I can customize the color. Okay. Let's go to ChatGPT and get some color recommendation. Can I get 3 hex codes for each color theme? Okay. It looks good. Oh, yay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, wait, not that. This and this. Oh, okay. That looks good enough. And it's on brand with my color scheme. Okay, cool. All right. So, uh, I feel like I swallowed a frog. Today I had a meeting with the nonprofit organization in Hawaii, and the nonprofit organization's name is called Spill the Tea Cafe, and I was very moved by their vision, and so I want to do kind of a fundraising event for the Spill the Tea Cafe. So I am about to announce that here. And I need to revive the link in order to do so. But how's your day? I want to know how your day is. Cool, I can do that, and all right. Oh, nice. I like nature stuff. Went for a walk. Today, it rained a little bit until today morning, but it really cleared up where I live. So I really enjoyed the sun today. Hasn't been sunny all that much, but it's nice to actually be go out and enjoy the sun. You know, I used to meditate in the I used to meditate outdoors like the other people in Southeast Asia, but it got too cold, and I think now it's slowly becoming a better time to meditate out in the wild again. Not that wild. It's like literally in front of my house, but yeah. Oh yeah, I have some drama to share. Like apparently the house next to ours, it was a rental property, and then the property manager like just ran, and so the renters had to go to court, small claims court, and then apparently the court ruled in against the renters. So the my next door neighbors, they're gonna be evicted soon. So that was a little messed up, but yeah, sometimes these crazy things happen, huh? Yeah. Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about Spill the Tea Cafe. Hello, everyone. I have an exciting news to share, and that exciting news is I had my calendar fully booked and closed, and I am going to be opening my calendar up for March. Even if you don't have a one-on-one contract with me, you can sign up for a single coaching session with me one-on-one. Now, um, why this is exciting news is because this time, if you make a donation of at least $5 to Spill the Tea Cafe in Hawaii, then you can get a coaching session with me. Normally valued at over $100. But at the same time, you know what else is cool? When you participate in this, you get entered into a giveaway that I'm doing for my network of other coaching providers. So as you know, if you've been watching my channel, I'm a Buddhism and you know, kind of a Buddhist philosophy oriented life coach. But did you know that there are lots of other cool styles of life coaches out there? For example, my friend Susie is a art coach. My friend Maria is a relationships coach, and there's all these types of different healing and different types of mind work that my network of people can provide for you. And so you can win one session with all these amazing people when you enter into my giveaway. So again, the instructions are very simple. I am going to link to a donations page in the comment section below, and you just need to make a small donation of just at least $5, and that's it. And you email me the receipt at billy@julylifecoach.com, and then I'm gonna book you a session and let's solve some of your life problems. I want to also talk a little bit about why I am doing this with in partnership with Spill the Tea Cafe. Spill the Tea Cafe is a cafe, obviously in the name, located in Honolulu, Hawaii. And why this is particularly interesting is it's a non-profit. Moreover, it is a non-profit that is specifically built to serve LGBTQIA plus teenagers in Hawaii. Did you know that teenagers of the sexual minority and general minorities have a much higher rate of suicide compared to other teens? And moreover, this specifically in the state of Hawaii, there's not a lot of different avenues for mental health care for these teens who tend to be on the very, very marginalized side of society. Spill the Tea Cafe not only is a cafe, but it also serves as a clinic that does gender affirmative care and basically provides a safe space and a place where the people who are always used to being marginalized and ostracized, they have the chance to feel like normal people in the cafe. And in an ideal world, every one of us would feel like a normal person. But, we are taking baby steps, and that baby step is, possible with the help of Spill the Tea Cafe. Spill the Tea Cafe is about to have its second birthday. I think it's March 8th. And it is a nonprofit, and in order for nonprofits to get state-based funding, it has to stay afloat for 3 years. But it's a nonprofit, therefore, it doesn't have a lot of ways to generate a lot of money because all the money that the cafe earns, it goes directly back into the teams. And so until now, it has been a Hawaii and Honolulu based kind of an effort. But I am bringing highlight to this so that we can help the teens in the most, remote part and in the most remote outskirts of society. Regardless of what your opinion is about sexual orientation, regardless of how you feel about transgender, let's think about it this way. Um, yeah, suppose these teens are really confused, and suppose these teens don't really have an idea of, what they are talking about. But if you think back on your teenage years, wouldn't it have been really nice to have that kind of unconditional support, whether it be from your peers or from adults or from counselors? In general, this is a teen issue, and in general, this is a social issue. And our politics and personal beliefs aside, your donation of just $5, it can help people not thrive like it's not gonna help people drive a Lambo. It's not gonna give the teens like a suddenly 180 different life. It's not gonna make them the most popular kids at school, but it will help them decide to live for one day longer. And I think that is a very, very, very powerful gift that you do have in your own hands starting today. And so, if you have personal issues that you want to talk about, get some time with Billy. For a $5 donation, link is in the below comments. And moreover, you win a giveaway with my network of wonderful changework facilitators. And so I look forward to meeting you from the YouTube world. And just email me the receipt and we can take things from there. I look forward to meeting you and I thank you so much in advance for helping Spill the Tea Cafe. Yep. So that was what was going on today. Yeah, I had a meeting with the Spill the Tea Cafe and looked at some of the ways I can help the nonprofit organization so that it can stay afloat for another year and then they can work to get uh, state-based funding. That is my how my day was. Okay. And on top of that, a lot of work as well. Work. Hmm. You know what? It's been some time since I did life coach reviews. Movies. What's a movie I can review? Oh yeah, before this, I had something else I wanted to talk about because I got another comment from Reddit. Oh yeah, I also had another topic from Reddit, so we can talk about that. Overlay time, one more time. And this topic now is not time with Billy, but instead, cool. Okay. So I got a question from Reddit today, and I want to answer this question. I received a question from Reddit about karma. I talk about karma a lot, and the common misconception about karma that I want to start out with by clarifying is karma is less about eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. I punch you, therefore, I get punched back. I do good thing, I get good thing. I do bad thing, I get bad thing. Right? So karma is just that's one aspect of karma, but karma in general, what it means is it's a grand habit. So it's a habit that transcends your one individual, but it goes to your parents and how your parents were raised and how your grandparents were raised and how society has primed us to repeat this pattern for over years and years and years and generations and generations and generations. So it's practically the same kind of a behavior as a habit, but it's just that cycle of the habit is just way bigger than one individual person, and that is kind of a brief version of how I describe karma. And so the question that I received is, Billy, when do people do bad things, like do people ultimately get punished for it? And when do people who do bad things ever get it in return? If someone is a bully or a narcissist, do they ever get dealt similar pain that they caused others? So we all like to believe in poetic justice, right? So if you've been bullied before, you wish that bully gets inflicted with the same kind of pain that they inflict upon you every day. But well, in most cases, that kind of short-term karma is likely not going to happen. Why? Because that in that inflicting of violence itself, right? It's already happening for a reason. So if you are getting bullied, that means the bully has holds more power than you, whether it be a social power, whether it be physical power, whether it be, political power or whatever it is, right? They are able to bully you because the power discrepancy is already there. So that power discrepancy, right, by the nature of it, it will be a little bit difficult for them to be placed in that kind of a power hierarchy in exactly the same way that you experience. But of course, I have to mention that a lot of the bullies are actually very much bullied at their homes, right? And they kind of repeat the cycle onto other people because they don't know how to deal with that violence themselves. So, in a sense, there is that short-term karma, but they're likely not going to receive it from their peers, is what I am saying. So, if I engage in narcissistic behavior, if if they get mirrored with another narcissist, it's likely that they're not going to experience the same thing as you because you get the pain from the narcissist because you're not one. But when you match a narcissist with the narcissist, the dynamic is going to be different. So that is more like what I am saying, right? If if a bully meets a target, right, then there's a power dynamic at play. But if a bully meets a bully, none of them are going to be willing to concede that easily. So that's what makes the short-term karma not really pan out. So that may seem like it's really unfair, right? But karma tends to play a long-term game because, like I said, it's more about habits that are very much bigger than you, the one person. So consider this. The more you bully people, the more you are going to get used to people bending over you. The more you are going to get used to people kneeling after you. But that power dynamic quickly loses steam after a certain point. For example, in high school, you're still kind of subject to that schoolyard violence kind of a thing, right? But once people go to college, the people who wouldn't engage in that kind of behavior would never really mix up in the same college. And the people who would kind of thrive in those bullying situations would kind of continue their walk in that kind of a life. For example, a gang. For example, not really in pursuit of anything in bigger in life because guess what? When they try to live that life, the peers are not going to bend over them anymore. The peers are not going to willingly give them their homework because it's a different dynamic now. And when you live your whole life feeling like you're on top of the world and you suddenly get this impression that everyone is equal to you, then it will suddenly give you a shell shock almost. And you will not be able to adjust. And so you will go back into the life that you are used to living, trying to control other people. And the longer this goes on, the longer it'll be to escape this cycle. And in the end, you will just be left alone in this cycle, and no one will want to befriend you, no one will want to be around you simply because you want to bully other people. Like, why would people want to be around you? And then when you try to change your ways, you will most likely find it extremely difficult. And that is the kind of pain that gets inflicted by karma in the long run. For example, for another example, narcissist, right? If you are a narcissist, you are used to kind of dominating other people, and you are used to kind of manipulating other people. You are used to other people kind of paying attention to your every need and the world revolving around you. Again, when that situation changes, for example, you're the king of the house because you manipulate everyone in your house. or at school, or at work. But eventually, you will transition out, and you will be faced with the world that doesn't really bend by your rules. And you will be extremely disappointed, and things will be very, 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 very difficult. And because of that, you will retreat back to where you feel like you are in charge again. And you will either spend your entire life in misery, or you will have to come to terms with the fact that you used to live a very narcissistic life and it's not serving you anymore. And when you come to that reckoning, you will suddenly experience all the pain that has been inflicted by your karma. So that is kind of the long term game karma likes to play. It's less about eye for an eye, super quickly, tooth for a tooth, super quickly. And so, um, yes, things may feel like it's unfair at the moment, but I always say this, right? Gotta look at life in the bigger lens. Gotta look at life from the distance lens. If you look at life through one lens and one lens only, you get affixed to that viewpoint, and that's when a lot of suffering happens. Oh, third video of the day. I'm like on fire. Got one more video to record, but I would like some water, so I'll be right back. But now that I know how to play music, I'm gonna leave you with some background music. Okay, the third video is about loneliness and pornography consumption. So let's not this one. I'm gonna call this emotional smoking. How do I find topics to discuss? Yeah, usually I accrue them throughout the day. When I have a nice conversation with a client, I'm like, oh, you know what? I think this is good for the general public to know. And then I kind of remove the personal identifying information, and then I do that. And today I got some messages from Reddit. So today it's a little bit easier to do that. But yeah, that is usually how I come up with topics. And finding topics to discuss is actually a core skill set for mental health creators. And I think creators in general, I think a lot of YouTubers have a really tough time coming up with new material, right? And as a YouTuber, I'm exactly the same. I need to come up with a way to always be engaged with my audience, and so that is it's a skill that I am constantly working on improving all the time. Because yeah, like I was talking about this with I think Francis too, but I need to be if I just talk about the things that I want to talk about, then it's kind of too far out. It's too inaccessible because not many people think about like their mind and life all the time, right? And so but if I'm Dr. K and I have the like authority and like if I'm from Harvard and I have the credentials and everything, and I'm already a well-known public figure, then I can kind of do whatever I want. But let's be honest, my business is like going really well. I'm profitable and I'm successful, but in terms of mass like general popularity and the people's recognition of me, I'm very on the lower end. So it's a game I'm still playing. I'm still trying to develop that sense of like some making something more generally accessible while still giving value. But yeah, sometimes I hit, sometimes I miss. So it's yeah, it's okay, but it's always a work in process, work in progress. Man, as I said that, for some reason, I really want pizza. What do you do if your only happiness comes from self-destructive behavior? Yeah, we can talk about that. So, first of all, there's no right way or wrong way about doing things, right? So if you get your happiness from self-destructive behavior, then I think there's intelligence in that, right? So it's really important to recognize that we're all very intelligent animals. Whenever we do something, it feels like it's ridiculous, but there's always like a good underlying intention behind it. So for example, like imagine smoking didn't exist in the world, right? But if you think about it, lighting something up and then inhaling that smoke, it just naturally, you can tell that it's not the best thing to do for your health, right? But we keep on doing it because it fulfills a need. And eating until you're morbidly obese, like you can know that intuitively that it's the unhealthy thing to do, but we still do it, right? The topic that I was going to discuss was like pornography consumption, right? So, like, when you watch a lot of pornography and your brain is all numbed out, then of course it doesn't feel good, right? But at the moment you're doing it, there's a value. There's a really like specific itch that the self-destructive behavior is really getting to. So what will realistically happen is you are going to engage in that self-destructive behavior because it kind of makes you feel good. It kind of makes you feel happy. But this is what we in the Buddhism world call attached happiness. You only find happiness, and it is genuinely happiness. It makes you feel really good, but it's attached to something. And so when that behavior is finished, whether it's like an orgasm or like where you're bleeding too much and you have to patch up and things like that, then that happiness is gone. So you have to pursue it, and then you have to let it go. And then you have to pursue it, and then it goes again, and then you have to pursue it. So it becomes this constant cycle. And because of the nature of it, it's self-destructive, right? So eventually, the more you pursue it, you will ultimately reach a point where you physically are not able to do it anymore. And that is when shit hits the fan, right? So, do you are you willing to do something about it before shit hits the fan? Or are you going to continue pursuing this when you logically, if you think about what will realistically happen, if you can predict that, are you going to continue it or not? Because we like to stay in the narrow lens of life. But if you look at the long term, Like, is this kind of behavior something that I want to continue pursuing for the rest of my life? And I think that's just an important question to really consider. Yeah, yeah, but like, and then once things blow up, everything seems so obvious, right? Like all the red flags, and I've been scammed once, like $5,000. It's not like it's a lot of money, but at the same time, it's kind of not. So like, I'm glad I kind of stopped at $5,000. But if you think about it, and not you, if I think about it, like after I got scammed, I'm like, all the signs were like glaring there, but I can't see through it because I have this really narrow lens at looking things. I'm only gonna look at now. I'm only gonna do things that feel good to me now. And when you do that, yeah, shit blows up. And then only after that you're like, oh fuck, the signs were all there and I just didn't see it. And so this is you know, this is the hallmark of what I call silliness. In Buddhism, in Korean Buddhism, it's called foolishness, but I like to translate that into silliness. So, do you want to be continue? Do you want to continue being silly, or do you want to kind of look at things from a wider perspective, and do you want to kind of stop yourself before you go to the known kind of a recipe for disaster? But again, just the act of engaging in self-destructive behavior for happiness, I'm not arguing that's wrong. Like, it has value to you. And if you can find the wisdom in there, you gotta look at the wisdom first before you make the decision, right? Because if you're blindly like, you know what, this is self-destructive, I'm just gonna stop it, which is what a lot of people do. Like they quit cold turkey, right? That usually doesn't end up well simply because you did nothing to address the core of the problem, which is there's a specific itch that needs to be itched. So the self-destructive behavior is a gateway into that. It's telling you, hey, look here, this is what I want to feel. And the only way we know how to feel this right now is this act. And that is the important kind of that's the important aspect and the value of self-destructive behaviors. It's not all bad, you know? So like same with watching porn, same with cutting, and same with binge eating and then throwing up, and all the variations of self-harm. It always tells you something. Because you're an intelligent being and the body is intelligent and your spirit is intelligent. Yes. So hopefully that has answered your question, Almighty Diaz. Okay. Man, I had some salmon salad today, and I think I had too much lettuce. Like my inside hurts. All right, so let's record this. Okay, I don't want the video to contain my salad rant. Okay, no problem. And yeah, you're always welcome to my stream. Hello, everyone. I got a reply from the pornography addiction video from a few days ago, and so the response is basically this: when I stop watching porn for the sake of stop watching porn, I get something like, "Come on, it's impossible to not watch, even more since you don't have a girlfriend. Sex is everywhere. Everyone is doing it. Nothing wrong. You can't go against your sexual instinct, etc." The problem is that the more I watch, the more I feel like I'm turning away from the possibility of finding a girlfriend, and that makes me sad. And what do I do when I feel sad? That's right, watch some porn. And so there is a lot of intelligence contained in this comment. So why I named this video Emotional Smoking is it's basically smoking. This type of behavior is basically a habit. And so let's dissect this one sentence by one sentence. So, come on, it's impossible to not watch. Is it really impossible? Well, we know that humanly and realistically it is not impossible, but it's just really, really difficult. So, it's really difficult at this moment, and especially since you don't have a girlfriend, right? So, these two, clauses kind of go hand in hand. There's a kind of an association made. So, when I don't have a girlfriend, is it impossible to not watch pornography? But what about all the times where before you knew about pornography? You were single then, right? And you didn't watch pornography. Well, but I was a child then. Yeah, but what about all the monks and the religious people who practice celibacy? And, there's a bunch of people who don't consume pornography even when they are single. So, um, while it is very difficult to not watch pornography once you got exposed to it and your brain gets the dopamine hit from it, um, the association of like, I don't have a girlfriend, therefore I must watch pornography. This link is artificial. You are making this link because why? You want to feel good because you feel really bad right now because you don't have a girlfriend because you are very lonely. And when we feel bad, we usually want to do something about it. When we feel good, we don't try to tone down, right? When we are genuinely feeling content and happy, we don't try to tone that down. But when we feel bad, we always want to go to a state of wanting to feel better. So, your brain, when it's posed with this problem, it will try to grab onto any nearby neurons to try and make a reasonable justification, right? So what you picked here, oh, that it makes it look like I'm pretty good at mining. But anyway, uh, the reason that it has latched onto is I don't have a girlfriend, so I have to watch it. So that's the trick that your brain is playing into because it needs to justify something, the nearest target, so that it can engage in the act of feeling good. Sex is everywhere. I agree. Everyone is doing it. I kind of agree. Nothing wrong. And this I really agree. There's nothing wrong with masturbation per se. There's nothing really wrong with watching pornography per se. Because why? From the Buddhist perspective, good and bad are lenses. Good and bad are perspectives. There is no absolute good. There is no absolute bad. A lot of things in history that used to be considered good are bad now, and vice versa. So there's nothing fundamentally and universally and unequivocally through the test of time wrong. You can't go against your sexual instinct, etc. Now, is going against your sexual instinct really, really hard? Yes. When I talk to monks, when I talk to, religious people, what's the most difficult part about being deeply into faith? The temptation of the body. The temptation of hunger is one thing, the temptation of sleep is one thing, the temptation of generally other physical needs is one thing, but the temptation of sex is a very, 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 very difficult one to endure. Even Dalai Lama states that one of the most difficult parts about being a Dalai Lama is acknowledging and coexisting with the sexual drive. So, while it is not theoretically like impossible, I am going to give it to you that going against your sexual instincts is pretty near impossible. So, the problem is the more I watch, the more I feel like I'm turning away from the possibility of finding a girlfriend. So again, the more you watch, the more what? What you have landed onto is you're turning away from the possibility of finding a girlfriend. So right now, nothing in your life matters more than getting a girlfriend. And I think that attachment to this specific idea is what is inviting a lot of your suffering. And guess what? When you are in this state, even when you do get a girlfriend, realistically, it will be very, very disappointing. why am I being a doomer right now? It's not that I'm trying to depress you. I have just gone through a lot of experiences, enough experiences to tell you that whenever you have high expectations, it is natural that reality is going to be difficult to match. If you expect to have a perfect game and you put that pressure on yourself when you're playing a round of League of Legends, you want a clean sheet like the pros, no death, all kill like pentakill. Guess what? When you put that pressure on yourself, it just makes it more likely that you're going to ruin the round. If you have played games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're an athlete, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the yips, right? And so the single pigeonholing all your happiness into finding a girlfriend, that is at the core of what the problem is. And guess what? Also, are girlfriends all good? There's this website is Reddit, right? And when you look at Reddit, there's so many posts about divorces. There are so many posts about cheating. There are so many posts about narcissistic partners. There's so many things about relationship drama. And they all start with what? Girlfriend and boyfriend. And so you're putting all of your eggs in one basket, but that basket is not really guaranteed to be bulletproof. So that is kind of the flaw in this logic. And in order to really detach from this emotional smoking, that's the link that has to be broken. So, first of all, I don't have a girlfriend, therefore it's impossible to watch. You have to come to terms with the fact that this association is just something that the brain picked. And you are putting all your happy eggs into one basket of finding a girlfriend. And that is, unfortunately, um, going to set up a lot of possibility of failure. And moreover, a lot of people, if you look on Reddit, you will find that many people have girlfriends and wives and they still watch pornography, right? So it's just the everlasting thing almost. And when you don't have a healthy relationship with it, like, you know, like I said, there's nothing inherently wrong, right? So if you want to consume pornography, like I'd say that in and of itself, it's not like really like ethically and morally like unequivocally through the test of time bad. But putting all your happiness into an external thing, it just leads you to live a life that is dependent on external circumstances, which means you are not the owner of your life. The existence of a girlfriend is the leash holder, and you are following that leash. You are the servant of that desire. So that is my take on emotional smoking, and I hope this helped you. Cool. The those were all the videos that I wanted to make today. Is the greatest day I've ever known. Smashing Pumpkins. Okay. Oh, now I have said all the important things, so let's confuse everyone with the captions again. All right. Oh, it's already been an hour and 15 minutes. I think I am going to call it the end of this stream, but before that, what's up, Francis? How you doing? Everything good? I have some dog pictures to share. Oh, not this one. No. What I wanted to share was not this one. What I wanted to share is photos. So in my neighborhood, dandelions have been blooming, and just a few days ago these weren't there, and now they're here. So I wanted to show you. Spring is coming, and every morning when I bow, I notice that spring is really coming now. So that's a fun feeling to have, cause the sun is up way early. This is our neighborhood dog, named named Hercules. He's a he's a big not like big but chunky. He's a chunky Chihuahua, and he gets very angry at our dogs. Gets very judgmental. Look at his little butt. And I went to a alterations place because I needed to get something sewn on. And the alteration place I go to has this dog named Goliath. The name is Goliath, like the giant, but it's actually the most like adorable Bichon Frise. But he kind of has a temper, but I can't tell when he gets pissed off. But he's generally a very mild-mannered dog, but yeah. Something like ticks him and something makes him upset, but I have no idea what it is. And oh yeah, I'm supposed to pick up the work tomorrow, so I'm gonna be looking at Goliath again tomorrow. So maybe I'll have some more Goliath pictures to share with you um tomorrow. No, I don't know why. I'm really tired. Probably because I went to jiu-jitsu last night. Mm, talked a lot about happiness today. So if you want to read up on more about happiness, then please check out today's stream. VOD. And you know what? I'm gonna upload the videos as well. So check out the videos as well. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, Francis. Good night, Kaylee. And good night to Almighty Diaz and everyone who joined on this stream. Thank you so much for supporting my stream as always. And I will see you all next time.